Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ruchach Wadash. Double honors to the apostle and elder bishops, great millstone, all the teachers out there preaching this word and truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Aqua out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you I say shalom, and may you be the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites. Ba Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. And the name of this lesson is Prophecies are coming to pass before our eyes, whether they believe it or not. Okay? It doesn't matter if any of these people believe it or not, man. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. See what I did there? It don't take a rocket scientist to see what's going on in the world. All right? You're seeing inflation at an all-time high. You're seeing earthquakes all over the world at an all-time high. You're seeing sedition among men at an all-time high. All right? You're seeing the MO to the MO to the T and the B has been going out for a few years now. Okay? As a matter of fact, it's been going for quite some time, for a few decades. All right? It's just a thing called gradualism. So it's not in the form to where people, had their minds, well, actually, I can't even say that. It's been going exactly the way the people thought. It's just not mandatory. All right? Once it becomes mandatory, then it's a whole different program. See, right now, through this gradualism, it's been optional, right? Started with just like a little card, a little key fob, Then it got to the point where, let's make a fad out of this, make a trend out of this. Let's put it in our bodies, not just our pets, just so we know where our pets are at, or in these little bracelets that we put on our body for the hospital, hospital tags to get all of our information. Now we're gonna put it in this little rice size grain chip and put it under our skin, right? Again, everything's optional right now, but once it becomes mandatory, that is one of the prophecies. That's gonna be that hour of temptation, because you're gonna have the decision to make. And you better hope that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is with you in that day, because if you decide, well, it's ultimately up to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai if you take it or not. If he has it to where you take that chip, you ain't got to worry about getting salvation. You're not gonna get it, because once you receive that chip, your soul is pretty much forfeited for salvation. You have made mankind, you have made Esau your God instead of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, your true power, your God. All right? You chose your flesh over the spirit. All right? You chose poor discipline and a weak mind, a weak nature over true life, over immortality, over righteousness. Okay? And then, of course, what else? We've been seeing on the rise for a few years, the World War III. All right? Started out with little Ukraine and Russia, right? Little proxy wars here and there. Okay? The forming of BRICS. All right? So to where all these nations are basically trying to wean off the teat of America with the money and make their own currency. All right? So they won't have to be held under that boot of America no more and go about their own ways. Right? No longer in servitude of America. All right? All these nations are fucking tired of this bitch called America, man. They tired of her. They want out. Okay? And eventually all these nations are gonna form up. They're gonna huddle up and formulate some type of plan, and they're gonna go against America. And we know that because the scriptures talk about how the nations gonna have their own confederacy, and all the missiles gonna come towards America. The only way that many missiles are going to come towards America is because all these nations have turned, right? Her allies and her enemies have turned their They're arrows that can shoot from one end of the earth to the other. Right? These missiles from the missile silos to destroy America, to burn her flesh with fire. All right. What else are we seeing? We seeing well, the most recent thing, I'm gonna make another lesson about it, but the most recent thing, all right, studies finding that, so-called redheads are linked to so-called blacks. Well, duh, nigga, we've been knowing that. History will tell you that. Look how they treated the so-called Irish when during the slave days. They treated them less than so-called blacks. Why? Because they already knew better. They knew who the Irish and the Scottish go back to. They knew that. That's why they treated them the way they did. And after so long a period of time, all right, where it's like, okay, what you say, a grooming, okay, a grooming. You are this skin color, so you part of us. So after so long of that, then like became an acceptance. Like, yeah, all right, this we are people. We so called white, just like the rest of y'all. Even though we got this hair or whatever, but none of that really matters. But it's the fact that they groomed them into, no, y'all part of us. No, y'all part of us. The Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians. All right. But anyway, that's a whole nother lesson. But we're seeing all these things come to pass, man. All right. More specifically, again, the MO to the T and the B. All right, because it's going to become mandatory. And then the World War III. All right. And look what's happening right now. Who with Iran and Israel. All right. They've been going at it constantly. Okay. Netting not a Jew. All right. Figured, well, since chances are when I get taken up out of here, I'm gonna be charged with crimes against humanity for what I did in Gaza. So I might as well just fucking go all out. I might as well reveal my fucking horns. See, and that's exactly what's happening with these Israelis, man. They're letting their horns truly shine, man. All right, because they had the whole world believing that the Most High's chosen people, when they are quite contrary to the Lord, man. Quite contrary. And if they were truly the Lord's people, how come y'all not dwelling in safety alone? Scripture said that Israel would dwell in safety alone. Y'all got an iron dome, which have failed you. You've been getting bombed by Iran. Okay? And so here it is. All right? The whole thing with Israel and Iran right now. All right? This small group of Ish people against a nation that's of Muslims, and Muslims are fucking everywhere. That's like throwing a rock at a hornet's nest. If you mess with one, you definitely mess with all of them. Okay, and so what's going to happen? Eventually, Russia's going to team up with Iran along with China. Okay, and all these nations are going to go against America because America is going to keep helping Israel out. All right, and if they keep putting their hands in the pot, well, y'all just as guilty because you're supplying them with the things that can harm, and with infantry and with military military might in general. Okay, so yeah, you're helping them out. That's like you jumping into a fight. Well, if you jumping in, nigga, everybody else gonna jump in, and you're not gonna win. You see, America is not looked at anymore as that mighty country. Everybody hates this bitch, man. Okay, and everybody is eventually gonna side up with each other and go against America. All right. So again, name of this lesson: prophecies coming to pass before our eyes, whether they believe or not. Jeremiah 28:9. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. This is Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai hath truly sent him. Okay? So, I say that to say this. Again, name of this lesson, prophecies coming to pass before our eyes, whether they believe or not. Okay? Everybody is seeing that the men of the Lord have been talking about these things for years, for decades, and they are coming to pass. That's how you know they are sent from the Lord. Then you got some false prophets that will tell you it's June. Ain't no microchips. Nigga, it's microchips everywhere. It's not mandatory, but it's been happening for a long time now. How can you say that there is no microchips? You are heavily blinded if you cannot see that, if you don't know that. Okay? But hey, the blind lead the blind into a ditch. Okay? Jeremiah 28:9, again, the prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh Shai have truly sent him. See? And that's how you know the true men of the Lord, namely them of great millstone, okay, are the men of the Lord. Because everything that they've been saying has been coming to pass. And still on its way. All right? You're getting true warnings from true prophets, man. All right? The Lord is not unrighteous. All right? He sent his warnings. He sent his trumpets. All right? To blow, to give warning before he comes and does it. All right? What do you think the grace period is for? It's a time for you to get your shit straight, to start getting right. But no, y'all take full advantage of it and keep doing about how you want to go about things. And that's why you're going to be caught off guard. And that's why you're going to be fucking destroyed, man. Because you're not even trying. You're not even attempting to do right by Yahweh Shemel Shai. You're not even attempting to do right for yourselves and or your children. Selfish. Okay? That's why you got shit coming to you, man. Okay? This is Ezekiel 2:5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there has been a prophet among them. See? It don't matter if y'all believe. It don't matter what we think. It don't matter what we say, all right? Because we're just gonna come from out the scriptures. But it don't matter about that or this. All right? We're just doing what the Lord told us to do, which is go out and warn. Okay? Whether we are the elect or we're not of the elect. But only of the elect are gonna understand this word. All right? But that's the scary thing about the Lord, man. He can have you knowing all this information and go out there and do this work, but then he can be like, you know what, I'm done with this person. Next. You know, and boot you out. Okay? But our job, first and foremost, is to go out and do what the Lord told us to do. Okay? We're not gonna sit there and you know, punch you in the face until you understand. That's not our job. Our job is to go out there and prophesy, tell you about it. All right? And if the Lord put the spirit on you to believe, cool. If he put the spirit on you to not believe, still cool. Because hey, either way, you're fulfilling prophecy. You're playing your part in the scriptures. Right? You're playing your part in the Most High's movie. And just as we are. Right? We just hope that we going up in them chariots and them end credits. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing our part. Again, whether you believe or you don't, whether you hear or forbear, we're going to keep doing what we need to do until we're told not to. Okay? So in essence, we're going to keep doing this work until we beam up in the chariot, man. All right? Ezekiel 33, I'm going to read 28 through 29. It says, for I will lay the land most desolate, because this place is going to be fucking destroyed. All right? Just like Israel is going to be utterly destroyed. Okay? Because it's got to be cleansed. All right? But this place, America, is going to be absolutely crushed. Never to be inhabited again except by desert creatures. That's it. This place is going to be a shit stain on a map. All right? For I will lay the land most desolate, and the pomp of her strength shall cease. Yeah, because right now, the most mightiest of all countries in America, right? Yeah, not for long. Okay, the pomp of her strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be desolate. Ain't gonna be, the government's gonna be totally crushed. Okay, totally wiped out. Your law enforcement done away with. Your corrupt justice system finished. You know, it's gonna be righteousness upon earth after this ass whooping of America, man. That none shall pass through. Right? This place is gonna be so fucked up, nobody will be able to pass through. You're not gonna know what's what. Everything's gonna be absolutely, utterly destroyed, man. Verse 29. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, when I have laid the land most desolate because of all their abominations which they have committed. And the prophets have been telling y'all, right? Scripture said the Lord sent his prophets out there, right, to tell y'all to do these things that he hates. Stop doing these things that he hates. All right? We out there, letting y'all know, hey, this is what you need to do to get right. This is what you should stop doing. You should be trying to offend less. All right? But now y'all go to and fro on the earth because you got better things to do. Hey, y'all gonna be fucked up, man. And you're not gonna be able to say that you didn't hear it. You're not gonna be able to say that. Everybody has heard about the Israelites one way or another. You've heard this word one way or another. You probably watched the video or watched a few seconds of a video. You ain't got no excuse. You turned your ear away to not hear the rest. That was your choice. All right, but many of y'all have been warned, been told who you are as a people, and that's your job to further inquire about the rest. All right, and that's pretty much the point, man. You know, it don't matter. It don't matter if y'all here want to believe it or not. It is what it is. The Lord is not a liar. He's not a man that he should lie. Everything that he said he's gonna do, he's going to do. All right, and when it does, when these things start coming, right, to your doorstep, y'all gonna think back to where you heard this word first. You're gonna think about Great Millstone telling y'all this. You're gonna remember a certain face, a particular face or two, and you're gonna remember the things that you did hear because the Lord's he's gonna make you remember. He's gonna give you a memory before you wipe your ass out. Yeah, remember this prophet told you this? Yeah, no excuse, nigga. Delete. On to the next. Delete. Delete, delete, delete. Okay? Because y'all been told, man. Again, whether you hear or forbear, our job is to go out there and tell you about it. Lord willing, us edifying, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachach. Double honors to the apostle and elder bishops, great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing his word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Y'all better stay prayed up, man. You better start trying to get your shit right, man, because the time is clicking, man. All right? This is a spiritual countdown, and when that ball drop, a.k.a. them bombs, it's over with, man. It's over with. Start getting your shit straight, man. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakak Wadash. Stay prayed up, repent, Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.